You wake up, you place your feet on the floor and feel that familiar stiffness. Maybe it's the tingling in your calves. Maybe it's that strange heaviness that's been creeping in over the years. You move slower now, not because you're weak, but because your body is sending you a message. Your legs, they're your foundation. They're your mobility. And more than that, they're a window into your vascular health. So the question becomes, are you doing enough to take care of them? Let's get one thing straight. Most people wait until it's too late. They wait until they're already dealing with swelling, varicose veins, neuropathy, or even dangerous blood clots. But there's a truth no one's been emphasizing enough. Prevention and restoration are within reach, and it doesn't require fancy machines, painful procedures, or hours in the gym. In fact, there are only 3 exercises you truly need to improve leg circulation if done consistently with awareness and with intention. But before we talk about those 3 movements, I want to take you inside your body, inside your veins and arteries. Right now, your circulatory system is like a vast network of highways. Over time, those roads can get clogged, twisted, or even start collapsing from disuse. Think of your calf muscles like a second heart. They pump blood back up to your upper body every time you move. The problem? If you're sitting too long, if you're sedentary, those pumps go quiet, the blood pools, the tissues starve, and then slowly problems begin to set in. Now, you may have heard people say, just walk more. And yes, walking is wonderful, but walking alone won't target the deep mechanisms that push your circulation into optimal function. What you need is precision, simplicity, and repetition. 3 exercises. That's it, 3. The first is what I call the calf pump activation. It's so simple you might overlook it, but don't. It's the foundation. Sit in a chair, keep your feet flat on the floor. Now slowly lift your heels off the ground while keeping your toes planted. Then lower, do it again, slowly. You'll feel your calves flex. What's happening? You're literally milking the veins of your legs, squeezing blood upward, improving venous return, oxygen delivery, and nutrient transport to your tissues. Do this for 2 minutes, multiple times per day, and you're doing more for your circulation than most people do in a week. It's in this simplicity that so many seniors find freedom. Because you don't need strength, you need consistency. I've had patients in their 80s and 90s do this every morning and report their legs feel alive again. The tingling reduced, the swelling diminished. Why? Because blood finally began to move. Movement is medicine, but not just any movement, the right kind of movement. The second exercise, ankle circles. Sounds basic, but here's why it matters. Your ankles are one of the most underused and overlooked joints in your body, and yet they serve as crucial gateways for vascular and lymphatic flow. Sit on a chair or lie in bed, lift one leg slightly off the ground, and slowly rotate your foot in a circle. 10 times clockwise, then 10 times counterclockwise. Repeat with the other foot. What's the magic here? Every rotation activates not only the muscles in your foot and ankle, but the connective tissue around them. This stimulates microcirculation, the tiny capillaries and vessels that feed your nerves and skin. It keeps fluid from building up. It strengthens proprioception, balance, and coordination. And for those of you who've noticed your balance getting worse, this one's non-negotiable. And let me pause here and say something you might not hear enough. If you've made it to this age, your body is still working for you. It hasn't given up. It's been compensating. It's been trying. And now you have the opportunity to support it in return, not with punishment, not with force, but with daily acts of attention. Now, the third exercise, it's the one people often ignore because it seems too effortful, but it's also the one that offers the most powerful change, the seated march. Sit in a sturdy chair. Keep your back straight. Slowly lift one knee toward your chest as high as you can, then lower. Alternate legs. Repeat for 1-2 minutes. What you're doing here is incredible. You're activating your hip flexors, quadriceps, and even your lower abdominals, all of which help generate power to move blood through the deeper vessels in your pelvis and legs. This reduces stagnation, helps with constipation, improves pelvic floor support, and reduces leg fatigue dramatically. It's like waking up a whole network of vessels that forgot they were even there. And now I want you to imagine something. Imagine doing these 3 exercises daily, not for hours, but for just 5-10 minutes a few times per day. Imagine what would happen to your energy, to the way you walk, to the way your shoes fit, to the way your legs feel when you wake up in the morning. You'd start noticing subtle shifts, more warmth, less aching, better sleep, a sense of lightness that tells you your body is finally circulating the way it was designed to. But the real power isn't just in the movements, it's in the mindset behind them. When you decide to take 5 minutes for yourself, you're saying something powerful. You're saying, I still matter. My health still matters. My future is still something I can shape. It's never too late to improve. The smallest act of effort becomes an act of rebellion against decline, against despair, against the lie that aging means giving up. Let me tell you a story. I once worked with a man named William. He was 76. He had terrible leg circulation, so bad his doctor said surgery might be his only option. But William wasn't ready to give in. Every morning he did those 3 exercises, rain or shine, whether he felt like it or not. At first, it hurt. His legs cramped. His joints protested, but he kept going. 3 months later, his swelling was down by half. 6 months in, he could walk to the park without stopping to sit. A year later, he was off medication, all from 3 simple movements. Now let's bring it back to you. If you're sitting there wondering if this will really work for your body, I want you to ask yourself something. Have you really given your legs a chance to heal, or have you just been tolerating the symptoms, hoping they'll disappear? Because your body doesn't want to stay stuck. It wants to flow. Blood wants to move. Muscles want to contract. Veins want to be supported. All they need is you, your attention, your daily effort, your belief that even now, even after 65, your health can improve dramatically. These exercises cost nothing. They require no gym, no trainer, no equipment, just your time, your breath, and your willingness to show up. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do 100 reps. You just need to do something and do it often, because frequency matters more than intensity. And I want to leave you with this. Circulation is not just about physical health. It's about vitality. It's about clarity of mind, quality of sleep, ease of movement, emotional balance, and even memory. When your blood moves, you move. When your circulation improves, your life improves. Every organ, every tissue, every thought benefits. It's not an exaggeration, it's biology. So today, let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment you commit, not to some complicated program, but to the 3 most powerful exercises your legs have been waiting for: the calf pumps, the ankle circles, the seated marches. Do them daily. Let your legs wake up again. Let your heart feel the difference, and let the rest of your life, the decades ahead of you, be defined not by decline, but by strength, by choice, and by forward momentum. And as you begin these exercises day after day, something else begins to change. Not just the strength in your legs or the warmth in your feet, but something deeper, a shift in how you see yourself. You begin to remember that you're not at the mercy of age. You're not stuck. You are still an active participant in your health, in your body's story, and in how the years ahead will unfold. Let's talk about how to embed these exercises into your life so they become second nature. So they don't feel like a task, but a ritual, something you look forward to rather than something you dread. The first and most powerful tool you have is the morning. Not because the morning is magical, but because it sets the tone for everything that follows. The first 30 minutes after waking up is when your blood flow is slowest, your joints are stiffest, and your risk of blood clots is highest. That's the moment to act. Before you even leave your bed, you can start with ankle circles. Lying on your back, you rotate one ankle, then the other. You're not rushing, you're connecting. With every circle, you're reminding your body, I'm here, I'm awake, let's move together. That sends a signal not only to your blood vessels, but to your nervous system. It tells your brain, this day matters, and so do I. Then, when you sit up on the edge of your bed or move to a chair, you begin your calf pumps. 10, 20, 30 reps. You'll feel the gentle warmth build in your legs. You might even notice a slight tingling or a release of pressure you didn't know you were holding. That's blood moving, that's life returning, that's you choosing to create momentum before the rest of the world makes demands on your time. And then the seated marches. If you're in your kitchen waiting for your tea to steep or at your desk reading a newspaper, lift your knees one by one. Breathe while you do it. Don't strain. This isn't about pushing. It's about rhythm. It's about inviting your body back into a partnership. These small, steady movements are like deposits into your health bank account. You might not notice a difference on day one, but in a week, in a month, in 3 months, it becomes undeniable. I want to acknowledge something right now that you may be feeling. Sometimes we avoid starting because we fear it's too late. Because part of us whispers, what's the point? Let me answer that clearly. The point is that you're still here. The point is that you still have today. That your body, no matter how damaged, tired, or aging, still responds to love, to care, and to movement. We've seen it in study after study. The human body is astonishingly resilient even in our 70s, 80s, and beyond. Your blood vessels can still grow new branches. Your muscles can still adapt. Your nerves can still heal, but they need activation. They need movement, not punishing exercise, not painful routines, just simple, consistent engagement. And let's talk about something else that rarely gets discussed: how your emotions affect your circulation. Did you know that loneliness, stress, and chronic anxiety all constrict your blood vessels? When you feel unsafe or unseen, your nervous system tightens and your body literally shuts down flow to non-essential systems. Over time, this contributes to cold feet, numbness, poor digestion, and fatigue. But when you move, even just a few minutes a day, you send a signal of safety to your brain. You say, I'm okay. I'm strong. I'm showing up. That releases tension, that opens your vessels, that brings vitality back to the places you thought were gone. So these three exercises are not just physical, they're emotional, they're psychological, they're spiritual. They tell the truth that every day is a chance to repair, rebuild, and rediscover your strength. Now, I want you to imagine a life where these exercises are woven into your day like brushing your teeth, not a chore, but a chance to connect with yourself. Midday, after lunch, when you're most likely to feel sluggish, try a round of seated marches. Get that blood flowing again. You'll notice your mind clears up, your focus sharpens. You're giving your brain more oxygen, more glucose. In the afternoon, when you might typically sit on the couch and drift into a nap, try a round of calf pumps or ankle circles. Keep the circulation flowing. Keep your energy stable. You'll begin to feel more in control, not only of your mobility, but your clarity, your endurance, even your mood. And in the evening, before bed, close the day the same way you began it. Ankle circles in bed, calf pumps to release the tension from the day, seated marches if you still feel a little restless. And as you do them, don't think of it as a workout. Think of it as closing the loop, giving your body closure, giving your heart gratitude. You moved today. You made your health a priority. You stayed in the game. Now, let's expand for a moment beyond just these movements. Because if we really want to optimize circulation, we need to look at three other key areas: hydration, posture, and rest. First, hydration. Blood is a fluid, and if you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and harder to pump. That puts strain on your heart and reduces circulation to your legs and extremities. Most seniors I speak to are chronically underhydrated, not out of neglect, but out of routine. They don't feel as thirsty, so they don't drink. But thirst isn't always the best indicator. Set a timer if you need to. Squeeze a bit of lemon into your water to encourage regular sipping. Carry a bottle around. Make hydration part of the ritual. Second, posture. How you sit affects your blood flow. If you sit slouched with your knees tightly bent and your hips locked, your vessels get compressed. That restricts flow. Instead, practice sitting with your feet flat, your spine long, your shoulders relaxed. Even this minor shift can improve circulation dramatically. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware. And third, rest. Believe it or not, deep rest actually improves circulation. When you sleep, your body goes into repair mode. Blood flow increases to your muscles and tissues. That's when the magic happens, but only if your sleep is restorative. And for that, you need good habits: cool, dark rooms, minimal screen time before bed, no caffeine after noon, and yes, those gentle ankle circles before sleep to calm the nervous system and prepare your body to heal. The reason I bring these up isn't to overwhelm you, but to show you how interconnected everything is. Your blood doesn't just respond to movement, it responds to your total lifestyle. Your body is listening all the time. Every choice you make, what you drink, how you sit, how you move, how you breathe, is a message. So ask yourself, what messages have I been sending? And what messages do I want to start sending today? Because this isn't just about circulation, it's about control. It's about living your life on your terms, not in fear of decline, but in celebration of resilience. Every day you choose to move, to hydrate, to rest well, to posture yourself with dignity, you're reclaiming something that the world tries to take from older adults: autonomy. And don't for a second believe the lie that this work is insignificant. It's not. It's the foundation. It's the beginning. From better circulation comes more energy. From more energy comes better mood. From better mood comes more motivation to eat better, sleep better, move more. It's a ripple effect. And it all begins with 3 exercises that take less time than brewing a pot of tea. There are people much younger than you who are giving up, who are sitting around disconnected from their bodies, blaming their genetics, numbing their discomfort with screens and snacks. But here you are, choosing to learn, choosing to act. That makes you powerful. That makes you rare. And you're not doing this for applause. You're doing this because you know the truth, that your body still has work to do, that you still have places to go, people to love, memories to make, and that none of that happens without your legs, your heart, your blood, your breath. So let these exercises be your anchor. Let them be your reminder that even in aging, you can grow. Even in pain, you can heal. Even in limitation, you can expand. This is your moment. This is your movement. This is your body waiting to be reawakened. And if you're still with me now, it means something inside of you knows deeply and quietly that this moment matters. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. The truth is, you don't need a gym membership or a personal trainer to reclaim your strength and circulation. You need consistency, you need intention, and you need to honor the pace your body asks for. Because when you honor your pace, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes the foundation of lasting health. Let's take a moment to speak directly to those who are dealing with real challenges: arthritis, knee pain, neuropathy, or perhaps recovering from surgery or a long period of inactivity. You might hear exercise and immediately think, that's not for me anymore. But that's where we're wrong. Exercise isn't about intensity or breaking a sweat. It's about communicating with your body in the language it understands: movement, breath, pressure, and release. If walking feels painful, then we don't start there. We start smaller. Imagine this. You're seated in your favorite chair. The light is soft. There's no noise, no rush. You begin with deep breaths. You inhale through your nose, counting to 4. You hold gently for 2, and you exhale through your mouth for 6. As you breathe out, imagine your legs warming, your blood softening, your toes waking. Do this 3 or 4 times. Now your nervous system has shifted. Your body is ready to move. Next, visualize your calves pumping, not yet physically, just in your mind. See the muscles contracting gently, pushing blood upward towards your heart. Feel the warmth, the tingling, the aliveness. Then start moving, slow. Intentional calf raises while seated. You lift your heels off the ground, keeping the balls of your feet pressed down. You hold. You release. Again, 10 times. 15. Slowly, you're sending blood upwards, waking tissue that has been still for too long. Now, raise one leg at a time, slowly, purposefully. Not to build muscle, but to stimulate flow. The key isn't speed, it's awareness. The more aware you are of the movement, the more your brain recruits your muscles, vessels, and nerves. You're lighting up pathways that were dormant. You're saying, I haven't forgotten you. And while you move, I want you to say something, not out loud, unless you want to, but in your mind, this movement is a gift. I do this because I care. I do this because I still can. That kind of mental framing changes everything because too often movement becomes punishment. But in our season of life, movement becomes gratitude in action. Now let's talk about elevation, one of the simplest but most overlooked ways to boost leg circulation. When you sit or lie down, place a small pillow under your legs. Let your feet be slightly above the level of your heart. This alone, especially when paired with deep breathing, can dramatically improve venous return, the upward movement of blood from your legs back to your heart. 10 minutes in the morning. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 at night, maybe while listening to music or in silence, just breathing. As this becomes routine, something inside shifts. You begin to feel more in control, not just of your legs, but of your days. You stop saying, I hope I feel good tomorrow, and start saying, I know what I can do to help myself feel good tomorrow. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s who could barely walk a block regain enough mobility to travel again, to dance again, to garden, to live without constant fear of falling. And they didn't do it with fancy programs. They did it with simple, repetitive, loving movement every single day. But I won't lie to you, there are going to be days when you feel tired, when you feel stuck, when your body says no louder than usual. And in those moments, you'll be tempted to say, it's not working. That's when you lean in, because change doesn't always announce itself. It accumulates quietly, like water shaping stone, not through force, but through persistence. And while your legs may be the focus, don't forget that circulation is a full body system. What helps your legs also helps your brain. Better circulation to your brain means better memory, clearer thinking, and improved mood. You're not just investing in your physical body, you're investing in your mental clarity, your emotional resilience. Let's take it further. Once the foundational movements are part of your day, it's time to expand gently. Add short standing movements if you're able, maybe holding on to a countertop for support. Do light heel raises, stand tall, breathe deeply, shift your weight side to side. Let your body explore movement again, not as something foreign or forced, but something familiar, something human. And if you're wheelchair bound or dealing with severe limitations, don't despair. Movement is still possible. Upper body stretches, breathing routines, even light hand massage on your legs to stimulate blood flow. These are not minor. These are vital. Your brain and heart respond to even the gentlest engagement. One of the greatest hidden benefits of these exercises is that they increase your confidence. And confidence, especially in seniors, is directly tied to independence. When you believe you can stand longer, walk farther, or even just feel better, you become less reliant on others. You start to reimagine what the next 10 years could look like. That's not vanity. That's freedom. Now, let's not ignore the psychological side. When you begin to move, you might come face to face with feelings of shame, guilt, or regret. Maybe you think, I should have started earlier, or I let myself go. Let me tell you, those thoughts are lies. You are not late. You are right on time. You're doing this now. That's all that matters. Healing begins the moment you stop judging yourself and start encouraging yourself. This is why I want you to celebrate every small win. Finish your morning movements? Good. Celebrate. Did 3 marches during a commercial break? That counts. Elevated your legs while reading? That counts too. It all adds up. Just like drops of water fill a cup, your consistent effort begins to restore energy, vitality, and joy. And joy, my friend, is not a luxury in aging, it is a necessity. Let me share a small truth that often gets forgotten in the world of medical advice. The body listens to the heart. When you move with love, your body responds faster. When you speak kindly to yourself during the process, you heal deeper. You don't just improve circulation, you begin to restore trust in your own body, in your own rhythm. Imagine yourself 90 days from now. You've done these exercises nearly every day. Maybe you've missed a few, but you've stayed committed. Your legs feel warmer. Your swelling has gone down. You're more stable on your feet. You have fewer cramps at night. your sleep has improved, you feel lighter, not just in your body, but in your spirit. That future is possible. But it starts today. And it's okay if no one else sees it. Maybe your friends think it's silly. Maybe even your doctor doesn't fully appreciate what you're doing. But you will know, you will feel it. You will carry the glow of someone who took responsibility for their body and refused to fade away quietly. You're not doing this for vanity. You're doing it for vitality. You're doing it so you can walk to the mailbox without worrying, so you can play with your grandchildren, so you can stand and cook your favorite meal, so you can take a walk without fear, so you can sleep without pain, so you can live without limits. This is your time. Not to fight aging, but to embrace life more fully because of it. These 3 exercises are not a program, they're a promise that your body still wants to move, that your heart still wants to circulate life through every vessel, every nerve, every cell, that your spirit still wants to dance. And as long as you're willing to try just a few minutes at a time, you're already winning, you're already healing, you're already becoming the kind of elder the world needs: strong, centered, compassionate, and vibrant. So you sit down again the next morning, maybe your joints are still a little stiff, maybe your balance is still shaky, maybe you didn't sleep well. But you remember, this is how healing begins, not with perfection, with showing up. That's the secret the world doesn't emphasize enough. People think transformation begins with energy. It doesn't. It begins with a decision. And you made it, you showed up, the day starts slowly. You raise your heels again, maybe 10 reps today, maybe 15. Then you take a few deep breaths and stretch your legs forward, circling your ankles gently. You feel something different. You feel warmth. You feel a soft pulse in your calves that wasn't there before. You're not imagining it. That's your body thanking you. Let's go deeper into how these movements create real cellular changes. Inside your arteries and veins are tiny valves that help blood return upward toward the heart. But over time, especially after 65, these valves can weaken. Blood can pool in the legs, especially if you sit too long or stand without movement. This causes swelling, aching, and eventually leads to more serious problems like varicose veins or even blood clots. But when you move your feet, when you do those heel raises, those gentle marches, those leg lifts, even while sitting, you activate what's called the muscle pump. Your calves become like a second heart. They push the blood upward, relieving pressure from your lower body. Every time you contract that muscle, you're supporting your circulation in ways medication can't replace. Let's pause here, because some people will say, I'm doing these, but I don't feel better yet. That's understandable. Some benefits are slow and quiet, but others, like better sleep, fewer cramps, and a lighter step, will begin to show after just a week or two. Still, I want to encourage you to stay with it for at least 30 days. Make it a part of your rhythm, like brushing your teeth, like making tea in the morning, because the body responds not to intensity, but to consistency. And while we're talking about body responses, we must talk about inflammation. You see, poor circulation isn't just about movement. It's about the internal fires your body is constantly putting out. Fires caused by processed foods, high sugar, smoking, even chronic stress. These all inflame the blood vessels, narrowing them, making it harder for blood to flow freely. So now let's begin to pair your physical efforts with nutritional support. Let's imagine your plate. You're not going on a diet. You're just editing what already exists. You're making wiser swaps. Choose foods that thin the blood naturally, support the heart, and soothe inflammation. Think leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. These are full of nitrates, which open up blood vessels and improve flow. Think beets, think garlic, think turmeric. These are your silent healers. And hydration, don't overlook it. Your blood is made of plasma, and plasma needs water. Even mild dehydration thickens the blood and makes circulation harder. If your legs ache at night or your feet feel cold, sometimes it's not your heart, it's your water intake. Aim for small sips throughout the day. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water bores you. Just keep the river flowing. And then there's salt. Most seniors are told to cut it drastically. But the real enemy isn't natural salt. It's the hidden sodium in processed foods. Canned soups, frozen dinners, store-bought sauces. When you reduce those, your legs stop swelling as much, your ankles regain their shape, your kidneys thank you. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked elements in circulation, emotional flow. Yes, your thoughts, your feelings, your grief, your anger. When we hold onto these tightly, our bodies tense. Blood vessels constrict, shoulders hunch, breathing shortens. We become like a river dammed by our own past. Think of this. How many times in your life have you been told to just move on? But some pain doesn't move until we move with it. And I don't mean in therapy or with words. Sometimes a quiet walk at sunset is the most powerful release. Sometimes humming while you stretch your feet releases tension in the vagus nerve and calms the whole body. Movement helps emotions pass. Stuck emotions lead to stuck blood. So dance, even if just in your chair. Sway, hum, release. This is circulation too. Now here's a small practice I want you to try, especially in the evening. You lie down, feet elevated slightly on a pillow, lights off or dim. You close your eyes and breathe slowly. With each exhale, you say inwardly, let go. You scan your legs with your mind from toes to thighs, and you imagine tension draining out like water flowing from a sponge. You do this for 5 minutes. That's all. No fancy tools, just breath and attention. But over time, this clears not just the body, but the mind. Now, I know some of you listening feel alone. Maybe your partner has passed. Maybe your children live far away. Maybe you feel like no one checks on you enough. That loneliness, it tightens the chest, constricts the breath, and yes, reduces circulation. But even when you're alone, you're not without connection. You have the power to connect inward to your breath, your body, your memories, your hopes. And if you can, join a community, a senior center, a walking group, even an online forum. When we share movement, we double the impact. We feel seen. And when we feel seen, we heal faster. You don't have to tell people you're trying to improve your leg circulation. You just show up. You bring life back to those muscles. You offer your body a second chance. And quietly, almost invisibly, you begin to glow differently. Your skin gets more color. Your posture improves. Your sleep deepens. Your face relaxes. People might not know what changed, but you will. Let's talk briefly about something rarely discussed, your feet. Your feet are the farthest from your heart, so they suffer the most when circulation declines. So each night, spend 5 minutes giving them attention. Massage the arches, move the toes, roll a tennis ball under them, warm them, speak kindly to them. They've carried you for decades. Don't let them be forgotten. And while we're at it, let's talk about compression socks. If your doctor recommends them, use them. They're not just medical, they're empowering. They gently squeeze the legs, helping push blood upward. Wear them during the day, take them off at night. Let them be part of your self-care toolkit, not a symbol of aging, but a strategy of vitality. You see, when you put all this together, the movement, the breath, the food, the attention, the mindset, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing health, health starts chasing you. It returns to you because you've made room for it. You've invited it back. And that's the power you hold, no matter your age. Don't let anyone tell you it's too late. Your body is listening. Your cells are listening. And most importantly, your spirit is listening. Because the goal isn't to avoid aging. The goal is to age fully, deeply, and wisely. To walk through your later years with strength in your legs, warmth in your feet, peace in your chest, and clarity in your mind. And if you've made it this far into this message, I know one thing for sure. You haven't given up. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you said, I want to live better. I want to feel better. And that voice deserves to be honored every day you wake up. So the next day arrives. Maybe it's a bit cloudy. Maybe the sun filters in softly through your window, but something is different now, not outside, but within. You stretch before getting out of bed. You rotate your ankles slowly, a few circles each way. You point and flex your feet. You breathe in deeply and gently. And there's a quiet dignity in that moment because you're not just waking up, You're preparing yourself, you're reclaiming your body, one breath, one motion, one intention at a time. And what's remarkable is how these simple actions begin to ripple across your day. You drink your water not just to quench thirst, but to nourish circulation. You prepare your food with care, choosing the colors of health: deep greens, reds, oranges, purples. These colors are not just beautiful, they are signals to your body, telling it to open up, heal, restore. Berries to strengthen your blood vessels, avocados to support your heart, olive oil to reduce inflammation, even a handful of walnuts to boost nitric oxide, helping those blood vessels relax and widen. You start to notice things you hadn't before. When you walk, your feet touch the ground more purposely. Your steps are slower, but more alive. The ache you used to ignore in your calves, now you listen. And by listening, you adjust. You elevate your legs when you need to. You rest without guilt. You move without fear. And let's talk about fear, because fear, like poor circulation, creeps in silently. It tells you that aging means limitation, that decline is inevitable. But that's not the whole story. The truth is, what you believe, you become. If you believe you are fragile, your body will comply. If you believe you can become stronger, more alive, more radiant, even at 65, 75, 85, your body will begin to shift in that direction. That's not fantasy, that's biology. The mind instructs the body every day. Every thought is a command. So now you choose your commands wisely. You tell yourself, I'm not done. I'm not finished growing. My body may be slower, but it is still capable of profound improvement. You say, today I nourish my legs. Today I help my blood flow. Today I honor the machine I live inside. And now that you've embraced movement and nutrition, there's another piece to address: posture. Yes, posture isn't just about looking proper, it's about helping gravity help you. When you slump, you compress your abdominal cavity, you crowd your heart and lungs, you reduce the efficiency of blood returning from your legs to your chest. So now, whether you're sitting or standing, you start adjusting. You lengthen your spine, you roll your shoulders gently back, you lift your chin slightly, not arrogantly, but with quiet pride. With every improved posture, you breathe deeper. You invite more oxygen into your blood. And oxygen, that quiet miracle, travels through your arteries and veins and nourishes every tired cell. So the chair you sit in becomes part of your healing. You choose chairs with firm seats and proper support. You place your feet flat on the ground, thighs parallel to the floor. You avoid crossing your legs too long because that restricts circulation. You stand up every 30 minutes just to stretch, to take a few steps, to remind your body you are not stagnant, you are alive, you are in motion, you are free. And then comes the emotional part of the day. Maybe you remember someone, maybe it brings a smile, or maybe it stings. These memories, these heartaches, joys, regrets, they all live in your body. They affect your nerves, your heartbeat, your blood pressure. So now, when these emotions arise, you no longer suppress them, you honor them, you let them pass like weather. And then you return to your practice, your breath, your movement, your stillness, and something else begins to change. You notice you're not as cold in your extremities. Your hands feel warmer. Your toes tingle less. You sleep more soundly. You wake up without the restless tossing that used to plague you. That's not luck. That's the result of oxygen flowing, blood moving, your body receiving the signal. It is safe. It is cared for. It is healing. Now let's talk about midday. So many of us lose our energy between lunch and evening. Circulation slows, the body feels sluggish, and we retreat to the couch or the bed. But here's the opportunity. Instead of collapsing into fatigue, you stand for just 5 minutes. You perform simple motions, light squats while holding a chair, gentle marches in place, a few deep breaths while reaching your arms skyward. You don't do this to burn calories, you do it to reignite circulation. And then you hydrate again. You eat lightly. You avoid heavy processed meals that steal your energy. You nourish instead: a bowl of lentil soup, a handful of almonds, a piece of dark chocolate with green tea. And then you walk, even if just inside your home, down the hallway, around the kitchen. You walk not to exercise, but to signal your blood, keep flowing, keep feeding, keep clearing toxins. Now the sun begins to fall. Evening approaches. This is the time for restoration. You don't chase screens. You don't drown in the noise of the news. You light a candle, perhaps. You listen to soft music. You elevate your legs as you've learned. You massage your calves gently. You remind your legs, you did well today. You carried me. You helped me heal. And then you practice something ancient, gratitude. You think of 3 things that went right today, not big things, small ones, a gentle breath, a pain that was less sharp, a smile from a stranger, a meal that satisfied. These thoughts release serotonin and dopamine. These chemicals relax your nervous system, and a relaxed body circulates blood better. Gratitude is not just spiritual, it's physiological. It's medicine without a prescription. And when you sleep in peace. You rest with your body aligned, your room cool, your mind calm. You fall into the kind of sleep that rebuilds cells, strengthens immunity, repairs vessels. And when you wake not just to survive, but to live. Now, there's one more layer we haven't yet explored: hope. Hope is a powerful force for healing. It's not wishful thinking. It's the belief that your actions today are building a better tomorrow. Hope floods the brain with endorphins. It improves heart rate variability. It literally improves circulation. And hope is free. You cultivate it by envisioning your future self stronger, steadier, more joyful. You picture yourself walking confidently, standing tall, even dancing. And that image becomes your direction. Maybe you haven't danced in years, but maybe you can sway to a melody while washing dishes. Maybe you can tap your feet to the rhythm of a memory. Maybe you can smile at a photograph and feel warmth return to your chest. That is movement too. That is circulation too. And over time, you realize something profound. Healing isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about waking up what's still alive. And so much in you is still alive. So much is waiting for you to show up. And you have, so now the quiet of evening deepens, the world outside slows down, and so do you. But this is not a time of decline. It's a sacred transition. You begin to see nighttime differently, not as the end, but as the final chapter of a day well lived. This is the time to repair, to allow the body to do what it was built to do, restore itself. And your role? To make space for that restoration. You begin by dimming the lights. You tell your brain gently that the day is closing. Your eyes thank you for less strain. Your nervous system begins to soften. The soft glow of a lamp, the flicker of a candle, a warm washcloth across your face. All these little gestures become powerful rituals. They signal to your body, it's time to heal. You start with your legs. You sit at the edge of your bed or a sturdy chair, and you place both feet flat on the ground. You close your eyes, and you take 5 deep, slow breaths. As you exhale, you imagine tension leaving your lower legs, not just muscles, but nerves, blood vessels, connective tissue. Then, with both hands, you begin a light massage, starting from your ankles and working upward in long, gentle strokes. You don't press hard. This is not about force. It's about presence. It's about guiding your blood upward, encouraging flow back toward your heart. You spend time on the calves. You feel for tight spots, areas that seem dull or tired. You gently knead them. And with every motion, you visualize those blood vessels opening, widening, saying thank you. You speak to your legs, not out loud, but inwardly. You say, you carried me today. You move me forward. You've done enough. This kind of loving attention is rare, but your body has been waiting for it. And when it finally receives it, something changes. Healing deepens. Then you move to your feet. You press your thumbs into the arches, into the balls of your feet, into your heels, not to fix anything, but to communicate. Each touch says, I'm here, I'm listening, I remember you. The feet carry so many of our years, our burdens, our unspoken emotions. So when you touch them with care, it's more than massage, it's forgiveness. It's honoring the journey they've walked with you. And now when you lie down, it's not a collapse, it's a soft arrival. You elevate your legs with a pillow beneath the knees or the calves just slightly. This small elevation helps gravity do its work, returning blood upward, reducing swelling, easing the load on your veins. You let your arms rest by your sides. You feel the rhythm of your breath. And slowly you begin to perform a nighttime body scan, not as a test, but as a prayer of awareness. You start at your toes, you feel them, you thank them, then you move to the soles, the ankles, the calves, the knees. You do this slowly, tenderly. By the time you reach your hips and torso, your body is already softer, your mind quieter. You keep going, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your face, and then your heart. Not just the organ, but the center of feeling. You place your hand there, you feel it beat. You tell it, you've done well today. You can rest now. And here's the miracle. When you treat your body like this, something else happens. Your subconscious begins to shift. Instead of associating age with decline, it begins associating it with wisdom, with the rhythm, with intention. You are not falling apart. You are becoming more precise in your self-care. You are not breaking down, you are waking up to your power. And the next morning, something subtle changes. You wake up not groggy, but grounded. Your legs feel less heavy, your mind is clearer. You sit up with more confidence, you breathe more deeply, and now you begin to make choices that support that feeling. You walk to the window, stretch your arms high, and greet the day like an ally, not an enemy. You return to your morning motions, ankle circles, gentle marches, deep inhales. You prepare your circulation not just for movement, but for clarity of thought, for sharpness of memory, for steadiness of mood. Because leg circulation isn't just about legs, it's about the whole person. It affects your brain, your heart, your spirit, and soon those three core exercises, ankle pumps, seated marches, and calf raises, they don't feel like tasks anymore. They feel like gifts. They are moments when you step back into your body, reclaiming it inch by inch, breath by breath. They become anchors in your routine, and over time, you begin adding to them. Maybe now you walk to the mailbox and back, then around the block, maybe you find an online chair yoga class, maybe you join a group in the park. Movement becomes a joy again. It's not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do multiplied daily. Progress is slow, but it's steady. And that's enough. You start to notice other things too. Your mood lifts. You feel lighter, not just physically, but emotionally. You find yourself laughing more, worrying less. The mind and the body, once treated as separate, now communicate clearly. Your thoughts become more hopeful. Your sleep deepens. Your appetite becomes more aligned with what your body needs, not what your old habits craved. Even your relationships shift. When you take better care of yourself, you become more present with others. You have more patience, more grace. You listen more. You feel less rushed, less distracted. You begin to connect in new ways. And those connections, they feed your heart, which feeds your blood, which feeds your legs. Everything is connected. You find joy in the smallest things, a warm pair of socks, a soft rug under your feet, the way the breeze touches your skin when you walk outside. You start looking for beauty again, and that search alone improves your circulation. It gets you moving, it gets you feeling. And then comes something you didn't expect, gratitude for aging, because you begin to see that age brought you the wisdom to listen, the courage to slow down, and the clarity to prioritize what matters. You no longer chase youth, you embody presence. You don't want to be 25 again. You want to be fully alive at 65, 75, 85. You want every step to matter. And it does. So the exercises go on, but they become sacred. The foods you eat become medicine. The water you drink becomes fuel. The rest you take becomes strategy. And the thoughts you allow in your mind become blueprints for healing. This isn't just a new habit. It's a new life. And in this life, there is rhythm, there is power, there is flow. You stop waiting for someone to rescue your health. You become the rescuer. You become your own advocate, your own healer, your own champion. And when others see you, they notice something in your posture, your tone, your glow. They ask, "What are you doing differently?" And you say, "I started listening to my legs. I started honoring my blood. I started loving the body I live in." That's not just about leg circulation anymore. That's about coming home to yourself.